See here we can see the lines of force produced by the charge at rest. See, when the two equal and opposite charges they come close together, so we can see that the lines of force that start from the plus charge and end at the minus charge. So this is the lines of force. But if there is an unlike charges, so here we can see that a plus charge, another plus charge, when they come together, see there is a repulsion. There is no attraction between these two charges, the repulsion. So unlike the previous figures, here see the attraction, the lines of force is moving from plus to minus. Here the lines of force is moving away from each other because they are repelling each other. So electrostatic field, the charges are stationary, but the same charge they travel through the conductors, they will also produce some field. So those fields are called magnetic field. Here you can see a loop. It is through one paper. The current is flowing from high potential to low potential. So voltage is across the loop. So here you can see that a plus and minus, the current tendency is it's a flow from high potential to the low potential. See, high potential to low potential. So when the current flow through this conductor, a magnetic lines of force will completely wrap around this conductor. See, so the lines of force, the direction of the lines of force, you can identify with the right hand thumb rule. And here see, you can see that when this is upward, the current is moving from bottom to top, but whereas on the right side, the current is moving from top to bottom. So the lines of force direction is also changed. You can see that this side it is a counterclockwise. The lines of force is moving in a counterclockwise direction. Whereas here you can see that the lines of force is in a clockwise direction. So that you can identify with the right hand thumb rule. Just use the right hand thumb rule, and you can see that the thumb indicates the direction of the current flow, and the other fingers indicates the direction of the lines of force around the conductors. So the charge at rest and charge in a conductor also will produce the lines of magnetic field. So one is described as a magnetic field, the other is when the charge is at rest produce electric field. Now there are certain terms which are associated with the magnetic fields. So the very important term is the magnetic flux density, the same as the density we had studied in earlier, where see electric flux density, so D. So electric flux density is the D, this is E, electric flux density. So D, we know that it is the Q by area, it's charged by area. But where he, the magnetic flux density, it is a B, it's analogous to electric flux density. It is defined as the magnetic flux passing per unit area, the magnetic flux passing through unit area. See, the magnetic flux is phi, its unit is Weber. Weber is a scientist. So the magnetic flux density is the lines of force, that is flux per area. A is the area. So obviously phi become, so B times A. B is the magnetic flux density and A is the area. And on the right hand side you can see a figure where this purple color indicates the lines of forces. The lines of forces are penetrating through a surface. Let us take it as a unit surface and unit area surface. So the phi represent the number of lines of forces. The phi represent number of lines of forces. So here if you count, let us take it as the number of lines of forces comes around 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 into 4. 16 lines of forces. 16 lines of forces. And its area is unit. So the magnetic flux density become the lines of forces, total number of lines of forces, that is a flux by area. Area is the unit area. So magnetic flux density is 16. Its unit is Weber per meter square. So Weber is the unit of flux and meter square is the unit of area. So it is a Weber per meter square. The other way around, we can describe this magnetic flux density in a different unit, that is Tesla. It is from the Nikola Tesla. It is also, he is also a famous scientist, contributed many theories and innovation to the electrical engineering. There is a famous car named after Nikola Tesla, that is a Tesla. In other way, we can write down the magnetic flux density through a area is it is a dot product of magnetic flux density and area. So B is the flux density and A is the area, and the dot product, so magnetic flux density is B dot A, that is the absolute of B and absolute of A times cos theta. Cos theta is an angle that made by the magnetic lines of force with the nominal surface of this area. So the normal surface of this area, that is A. So here we can see that the surface is oriented in this fashion. So this is A is the area that is normal to the perpendicular to the surface of area, and the B is the lines of force. We can see that the angle made by the lines of force with the A is 90. So when you substitute this 90 here, so we can see that, so theta here is 90. So the phi become BA cos 90. This becomes 0. That means this case, in the second case, here the second figure, you can see that the number of lines of forces that is passing the parallel through an area is 0. But here the number of lines of forces, that is the unit area, the surface area is perpendicular to the lines of forces. So here the total number of the flux is B times A. So we studied about electric field intensity E, that is electric field intensity. In magnetism, the similar field intensity, that is H, that is magnetic field intensity H. So we can connect electric field intensity and electric flux density. The relationship is D equal to epsilon E. Similarly, you can connect H and B. So B equal to mu H. Mu is the permeability of the material and E is the epsilon is the permittivity. Epsilon is the permittivity. Mu is the permeability. So these epsilon and mu depends on the material, the type of materials. That is, if you take the capacitor, the permittivity depends on the permittivity that depends on the materials. If it is a paper, mica, or a glass, or impregnated oil sheet, then the permittivity is completely different from each other. So the unit of permittivity is, and the permeability is, the permeability unit is Henry per meter, and permittivity unit is the Farad per meter. See, this connected with an inductor H Henry, whereas the permittivity is connected with the capacity C, the Farad per meter and Henry per meter. So where mu equal to the mu naught, the permeability of free space and a relative permeability of the material. So this is a famous law, Biot-Savart law. Here its law states that the magnetic flux density, that is B, magnetic flux density, produced by a current element. So here you can see a current carrying conductor. A small section of the element we consider here, its length is dl, then the current element is IDL. The current carried by the element is IDL, is the current element. At any point in a magnetic field, let us take around the vicinity of this the current carrying conductor, let us take a point P which is around r distance from the current element. If you connect the point P and dl, it make an angle theta with the conductor. So here the law states that is proportional to the current element and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Since the current element produces only a small magnetic flux density, that is the dB, is directly proportional to the current element IDL at any point in a magnetic field is proportional to the current element and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So the distance is r. So dB become IDL, which is on r square. And if you change the proportional sign, then it become mu by 4 pi IDL r square. In a vector form, we can write down with a unit vector a unit vector which is acting along this direction. That is A is the unit vector. So in a vector form, we can write down dB as mu by 4 pi IDL 4 pi r square. So this become mu I dl 4 pi r square a unit vector. This is the B. This is the magnetic flux density produced at this point P. So when you write down the dB, the small magnetic flux density at point P in absolute form, then we need to take account of this theta. So dB become in absolute form, not in a vector form, mu I dl 4 pi r square sine theta. This is the magnetic flux density at point P. And we studied the relation between the B and H. B is mu H. If it is a small flux density dB, then mu dH. Then dH is dB by mu. And here you can see that dB is mu I dl 4 pi r square sine theta. And if you take this mu to the other side, this become dH. So this is the formula of dH, the magnetic field intensity. So this represents the magnetic field intensity, and this formula represent the magnetic flux density at point P due to the current element.